Hard work, fresh beats, and relatable lyrics have given this Canadian rapper a big fan base at home.
Back on my day shift, I got my tools in my lunchbox. I'm on my grind full time, but I never punch clocks.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton, and welcome to WatchMojo.com. And today we're speaking with Classified.
Okay, you said I never had a chance, but I keep proving that this shit is not an accident.
So we always like to start by getting kind of the origin stories of the people that we interview. So why don't you tell us how you first kind of got interested in music and hip-hop more specifically?
I was like 14 or 15. My parents were always into music. My dad was always in bands and stuff, so there was always music around. And I don't know, when I was like 12, 13, just started listening to hip-hop, just caught me, I don't know. And then 14, 15, just started trying to write my own stuff. And I always had my dad's equipment around, so I could easily plug in some microphones and, play some beats and pretend I was a rap star. So it kind of was fun and stuff. Me and my friends would always do it, and just grew from that.
What kind of music was it that you were listening to when you were growing up?
Everything. Like when I was a young kid, it was everything from Kiss to Motley Crue to Huey Lewis and the News to, just whatever was on the radio. Like it wasn't like I was a diehard rock or anything. I was just a young kid. And then, like I said, when I was like 12, 13 is when I started listening to hip-hop, and that's when I kind of really got into that and just started following hip-hop, so.
We get so many people saying Huey Lewis, it's funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Huey Lewis, the man. I still listen to Huey Lewis. We'll put it on the bus when we're partying. It's more of a fun joke, but we still enjoy it secretly.
Hey yo, my parents always told me you can't recycle garbage. But as an artist, you proven that's far-fetched. And you the hardest to listen to, trash man. So say goodbye to your career, jazz hands.
So what was the scene like where you were growing up?
I grew up outside of Halifax, like a half hour, so it was basically me and my three friends that rapped, and that was it for the rap. And when I moved into Halifax, it was a way bigger scene. There was MCs, DJs. That's when I really learned about hip-hop and the b-boys and the graffiti and all that stuff. So that scene was more like there were shows at, all ages clubs. There was a lot of people doing different types of music. There were studios and stuff. So once I moved into Halifax, I really learned about the whole, the music side of it, but also more about hip-hop and just understanding it.
Obviously, during the 2010 Olympics, you had the big "O Canada" song. It got you kind of to a new audience. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Like that song hit more people than any of my other songs, and I can see why. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people can relate to it because we're Canadian, so it makes sense. And especially with the Olympics and all that stuff, it was really just lucky timing more than anything. It wasn't like I made this song and I held on to the Olympics were coming. It was just on the album. We needed a new single. I was like, oh, the Olympics are coming up. Let's put this out. And it really took the album like to the next level and just like you said, put a whole new audience on my music.
Look, we ain't serious unless we really gotta be. Humorous attitude like kids in a hall. The Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, how we claiming them all. It's a great white north, home of the funniest actors. The front of the joke with an abundance of laughter.
When I started traveling outside of Canada, I just started seeing people's perceptions and just kind of what we were about and just, the jokes and this and that. And just even how Canadians are making jokes about ourselves and stuff. Like, we don't take ourselves serious, and that's why I wrote the song. It was like, we can laugh at it too, you know what I mean? We know what we do, and we live a pretty good life in Canada, so it's laughing at ourselves because we know we got it pretty good.
I know where I'm from, and I told you before. North of America, hard to ignore. Every time I go away, I tell them for sure I'm from Canada.
How is your career going outside of Canada?
Very slow. Very slow. I don't really focus on it that much just because I've been building so long in Canada, and now things are starting to happen. I've been to Australia a few times, been to the UK, been to the States, but like I feel if I really want to hit those markets, I got to do what I did in Canada. And just for me right now, in my point in life, it's not like I'm really like, I got to go to the States, I want to be a super millionaire. Like I'm happy where I'm at, so I'd rather be around my friends and family, go on the road for a little bit, come home, chill, and have a normal life, and just try to be consistent with what I do here.
We made Yahtzee, the light bulb hockey, and bred the greatest players, Gretzky to Crosby. We all got at least one drinking buddy, and after one drink, all of us think we're funny.
Now, you've been making music for a long time. How would you describe your evolution as an artist?
Slow and steady. Just, what I mean? I never had any formal training playing instruments and stuff, but I figured out how to play some keys on a keyboard and make bass lines and, play piano a little bit. I learned how to use a sampler and cut up samples and make drums and stuff. And I can't sing, but I try to, sometimes I croon a little bit. And, I just enjoyed making music and just kept working at it and got a little bit better every time I did it. And after 14, 15 albums, it's starting to get a little bit good, I'd like to say. So just a kid who loved music and just kept working at it and doing it.
I'm from Canada, so sometimes words come over my mouth like this. Get used to it.